Mama, I want more toy.
Hi everyone, TFB Freckles here, and welcome back to another day of Maygatron, the month where we celebrate this terrible Decepticon leader, Megatron, throughout the entire month of May. To kick things off, today we'll be looking at Studio Series Gamer Edition Voyager Class Megatron from the War of Cybertron game. Now, as a kid, I never had the toy of this. I very briefly had the original deluxe class version of this character. I didn't keep him for very long. I can't tell you why, because comparing him to this is like very different. Needless to say, I kind of miss it. I want my old Pookie back. One day, maybe I'll get my hands on him. But talking about this modern rendition of the character, I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed. Not like blown out of the water, but like the robot mode is super packed in. Like, compare this figure to a lot of modern day figures currently released, and there are almost no like hollow gaps anywhere besides like his feet or like the little ports behind his back. Like, he is almost entirely gapless and hides it very well. He looks like a very complete figure, and I do appreciate that. As I collect more and more of these, it just pops, quite frankly. And that also includes the accenting and the paint job that he's been given. That purple, that very subtle purple on his like knees and chest and on his face there, though you can barely see it, is incredibly appealing and very much replicates that look he had of the dark energon coursing through his veins. I just love it. I love it. I can imagine that voice of Megatron coming out of his mouth, like, it is so good. I really appreciate the purple that they chose. Along with the red, the small hints of red throughout his body, I really liked the red. I didn't like his look so much in the Fall of Cybertron game, but his look here has always been a favorite of mine. It just works for me. I don't know why, but the interpretation of it being kind of scattered, and him being like this amalgamation of hatred over the years, really appeals to me, I gotta say. Of course, you got the Decepticon symbol front and center, and everything else about the sculpt really works for me. Like, the arms are asymmetrical. The legs look pretty solid with, like, the sides of his legs being covered up by, like, the alt mode thrusters, which some people have complained about, where the alt mode, like, looks very bland. I think it looks fine, personally. I'm not complaining too much. Yes, the original toy could switch between the two, like, tread mode and then, like, aerial craft mode. But I appreciate this. I do like it. Do I think it's, like, better than the deluxe in that regard? Absolutely not. But this is still cool. What's slightly less cool is the cannon that it comes with. I think the original toy cannon blows this one out of the water. I don't mean to make a comparison video, especially considering I don't even have the original toy on hand right now. But this cannon is so weak in comparison. Like, it comes with a pretty cool mace, though. I do like the mace. I can imagine him bludgeoning Autobots with it. It really works for Megatron. I think this mace is awesome, and I honestly prefer it to, like, the swords he is occasionally given. I like the mace look, or like the ball and chain. Like, it's very neat to me. Besides the lacking weapons, I think his posability is pretty good. A big improvement from the original toy, but also still kind of weak. Like, the knees. I have to talk about the knees. Like, what were they thinking, having these giant tabs in the knees? Like, they aren't necessary for the alt mode. So what I and many others did was I snipped right behind the knees. Like, I removed the tab, and I just don't mess with it too much in case it, like, actually breaks. But, like, I removed the tab, and it's fine now. Like, it bends at a proper 90-degree angle instead of the, like, 30 or 60 that it had originally. Like, that was just so weird to me. I never understood that. But his arms have pretty good posability. You mess with them enough, you can get him into some natural looking poses. Along with the feet being kind of like everywhere. You know, you got the front of his foot, and then the back stability is connected to like this gray part. It's very strange. He has a pretty awesome waist swivel. His head can only move around so much. Same with his arms, but thankfully he doesn't have too many problems overall. There's no wrist swivel, which sucks. I feel like this time around, if he was given a ball joint, like a proper one, then he could have had some pretty good wrist articulation, but they decided against it for whatever stupid reason. So we got this. But other than those major, like, issues that people such as myself have had with the figure, like, it's pretty solid. It's not bad. It's not bad. And that goes for the transformation into alt mode. Like, I think the transformation is actually fairly satisfying to a certain extent. Like, the arms pegging in is a little awkward, and the chest plate just sort of hanging around is a bit strange. Like, you just unpeg it and then fold it down and you're basically done. But everything else with the feet especially, and the legs folding over the torso, and the back like unfurling as you connect that with the arms, like, it's very nice, a very fun transformation that is not very hard to forget about. And then you have this awesome looking tank. Like I said before, and I'll probably repeat again, I love a good tank mode. Tank modes are awesome. This one is no exception. And since it is in this, like, hovering position, you can do whatever the hell you want in terms of, like, posing. With the real tank, the only reason why it'd be up in the air is if it got shot at or went over something and blew it up. Like, but here, you can get some pretty nice twisty-looking ankles to, like, curve around corners and blast your enemies sort of stuff. Just like you do in the video game. And I think that's very neat. I think it's super cool that you can do that. And I don't mind too much how it looked when it was in its ground alt mode. It's funny how they like had two variations of his alt mode. Not necessarily a triple changer, but like a tank type, depending on the situation. I think it's very silly. But yeah, overall the alt mode is awesome. All the colors really look good together. It becomes enveloped in the dark gray that was just limited to his legs and back before. And it doesn't become too oppressive. It looks very solid. And the unimpressive cannon blends in perfectly to create this giant, long, like, turret. And it looks cool. It looks cool. Not as cool as the original deluxe, yada yada yada. But it is very cool. I do like it. I like this figure. And as for whether or not you want to buy it, like, should you? If you have the deluxe, probably not. If you don't have it and can get your hands on it very easily, sure, but buy this one. Like, it works. It looks pretty good. I like what they're doing with, like, the design. It very much jumps off the page and looks exactly like the game model. And it's not a bad figure. It's very much not a bad figure. I think the Bumblebee and Barricade that came before Megatron here were worse figures. This is a pretty good one to pair up with the Optimus, and is a fun rendition of a Cybertronian Megatron. But what do you think? Are you a fan of this Megatron, or is the deluxe version the best version for you? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you for celebrating Maygatron with me, and I hope you have a fantastic day.